MC Boxing here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Show your support. So I'm going through boxing scene. I just came across this article. It says Tyson Fury says, let's face it, Wilder hasn't really fought anybody. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of an analysis here of both fighters. And we're just going to go through the words here of what Tyson says. I'm going to correct you there, John. He says, if I come through this, Wilder has a chance to fight me for the lineal championship. As we all know, Tyson Fury is still the lineal champion. Fury said, let's face it, he hasn't really fought anybody. He has 40 fights, and it is what it is. But we're not here to talk about Wilder at all. Wilder may be as well a million years in the future. I've got to concentrate on this man in front of me. He's talking about Francesco Pianeta, and I'm sure he wants to take my glory from me and cash that check. So we're pretty much just going to focus on exactly what Tyson Fury said. And he has a point. And I'm also going to quickly cover on something that Frank Warren said, Fish Eyes. And he came out and he said that the winner of this fight between Wilder and Fury would be sort of like the universally recognized heavyweight champion. And that person doesn't need to fight Anthony Joshua to be recognized as the universal champion. Now, either Frank Warren is deluded and stupid, or he's going senile, because that's very stupid. Tyson, firstly, did not defend any of his belts, lost his belt due to inactivity. The recent champion, obviously Anthony Joshua, has taken the WBA, the IBO, the IBF, and the WBO heavyweight championships, and he's fought for them. So for him to say that that person doesn't need to fight Joshua that's kind of ridiculous, and that's deluded. But we're just going to quickly look through at their resumes just to compare. Like, in the first place, is how good is Wilder's resume compared to Tyson Fury? Now, if we go over Deontay Wilder's record, he's had 40 fights and 39 knockouts, and I'm gonna just quickly break this down as quick as possible. Now, the most notable win of Deontay Wilder's career would be against Luis Ortiz, and probably if you wanted to be nice, you say against Bermane Stiverne, because obviously Stiverne was the heavyweight champion then, after Vitaly Klitschko retired. Now, if you're comparing resumes, anyone from Wilder's first to 32nd fight, they were all tin cans and bombs. Really, like, there was literally no one that he fought that was of any note. Like, I mean, when he actually started fighting what you would call journeymen was when he fought this guy, maybe Lajakovic. That's when you could. Audley Harrison was probably a decent name. He was an amateur. He had a good amateur, and I think he was a Olympic champion as well, Audley Harrison. But that's when he started fighting anyone that actually had a pulse, right? And if you remember, Deontay Wilder was actually knocked down by this guy here, Harold Scorniers. And this guy was, 20 losses at that time? But if we're going to quickly compare resumes, the resume of Wilder, can you say it's slightly better than Tyson Fury? I don't know. I'll say probably. I won't say it's better, but I'll just say it's not. If you look at the volume versus the volume of Tyson Fury, because except from Tyson Fury has not really fought anyone except Vladimir Klitschko. Now, he's been in the ring with Derek Chisora. And he's fought Chisora twice. The first time was a unanimous decision. The second time was Chisora retired. So now that would probably be his two top wins. Klitschko, Chisora, Christian Hammer you could say Hammer was probably a good win. And Steve Cunningham was the guy that knocked him down. So yeah, these guys have both been knocked down by extremely low. I mean, Cunningham was a very good cruiserweight. And he carried a punch. So these guys have both been knocked down by, I guess, lower par opponents. Considering Fury's 6'9", so that's the resume of of Tyson Fury. So he's probably had only 3 notable names on his record. Vladimir Klitschko, which was an extremely good win. Derek Chisora, Derek Chisora right now had a very good win against Carl Stackham over about I think like a few weeks ago now. Kevin Johnson, journeyman, he got knocked out by Anthony Joshua, and he's been getting knocked out a lot lately. I think he got stopped by injuries as well, or probably a points decision maybe. Joey Abel, decent fight, nothing too special. But yeah, except from that, he's fought bombs all the way through. Bombs. He's not really fought anyone. So Wilder, on the other hand, but probably he's fought Stavern, Gerald Washington, Chris Arreola. Washington right now is not even ranked in any of the governing bodies, is he? He's not. The only guy on Deontay Wilder's record that is actually ranked right now is Luis Ortiz and Johan Duhaupas. And Duhaupas just recently lost to, what's his name? Jarrell Miller. So those are the only 2 names on his record. That's on the WBC. Now, if you're looking at the top, now if people could say, oh, those boxing rankings are, paid for, politics. The Ring magazine is based on ratings, right? In the top 10, Deontay Wilder has only fought 1 opposition in the top 10, and that's a Luis Ortiz. And even we don't know how good Luis Ortiz really is, because Luis Ortiz has only fought, in his record, Bryant Jennings. That's the only big name on his record. Well, he fought Wilder, obviously, but he got knocked out. So he's only had 1 real step-up fight against Bryant Jennings. And Bryant Jennings is not a world beater in any way. He fought Malik Scott, who pretty much ran for the whole fight. Dave Allen stopped him probably in the last round or something. Daniel Martz, bum. Kojanu did take Parker to a points decision. So this guy here, I've had some Wilder fanboys come up to me and say Ortiz is the most feared man. Ortiz hasn't fought anyone. He has not fought anyone in the heavyweight division of a notable name. Bryant Jennings is a gatekeeper. I don't even think Bryant Jennings is in any of these rankings here. Bryant Jennings in WBA is ranked number 11. And is he in any other rankings? No. Well, and in WBO, he's number 8. So Bryant Jennings is in no way or shape or form a world beater, is he? So when people come out and say that Ortiz is in some way, I mean, if we were to supposedly go through the Ring magazine rankings, you'd say Ortiz is in some way a good fighter, right? He's got good skills. So southpaw. So yeah, he's a good fighter, but he has not actually fought any top level opposition, has he? And then we go back here, and I've had some people come up to me, and they're on my Twitter or my Facebook, and they compare the resume of Anthony Joshua with this too. Anthony Joshua, after September 22nd, would have a better resume than both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder combined together. Combined. Right? I mean, because then again, what are we saying? He's fought how many notable names? Vladimir Klitschko, which is an extremely good win. I think that is a very good performance. Derek Chisora. Christian Hammer, I wouldn't really rank him. I'll put Christian Hammer on the same level as the likes of Otto Spoka, Jared Washington, and Eric Molina. I'll put Christian Hammer on that level. The Johan Duhaupas kind of level. Yeah? And Steve Cunningham is a cruiserweight. So I don't know if we even rank him as a heavyweight. So those are the only wins that Tyson Fury has. Let's not even talk about this fight he's having against Pianeta and Safa Safari. So Tyson Fury, obviously being a former unified heavyweight champion, doesn't necessarily have a strong resume, does he? Deontay Wilder, on the other hand, for, well, Chris Arreola, who was washed up, Gerald Washington, that was his first step up level 5. I believe he took it in the space of, 8 weeks? That was the time frame he took the fight. Otispoka was a very good knockout by Wilder. Duopa took Wilder about 10 rounds. But Duopa is a very durable guy. Eric Molina took Wilder about 9 rounds. Bermane in the first fight took Wilder 12 rounds. Jason Gavin, I believe he took him 3 or 4 rounds. So those here, Malik Scott just took a dive. Liakovic got knocked out badly. So all this, and Chris Arreola, even though it was washed up and it took about 8 rounds maybe. Now, we compare them now to Joshua's record. Jason Gavin, Anthony Joshua fought Jason Gavin in his 10th fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th fight. That's who Deontay Wilder was fighting in his 33rd fight. And he's fought, I mean, you could count all these guys as bomb. I'll put Kevin Johnson on the same level as Christian Hammer. Dylan White, who right now is ranked in the Ring magazine, he's ranked number 5. He's fought Charles Martin, who right now is ranked number 9 on the WBC rankings. He's about to have a fight with, what's this guy's name? Adam Kownacki, who's ranked number 10. And I believe Adam Kownacki is ranked 9th in the Ring magazine rankings. And Josh's fought Dominic Brazil. I think he's ranked 7th. Yeah. Eric Molina, who is stopped in 2 rounds? 2 rounds or 3 rounds. Vladimir Klitschko, all-time great, and he stopped him. He did get knocked down. But now, if we were to compare, people say Joshua got knocked down by Klitschko. Now, I would rather be knocked down by Vladimir Klitschko than get knocked down by who? Steve Cunningham and Howard Scorniers. I'm very sure you'd rather get knocked down by them. And let's not forget, even in Deontay Wilder's fight against Eric Molina, he got rocked in that fight as well. Now, you could also argue that Dylan White got rocked Joshua as well. Carlos Takam, who just got recently stopped by Derek Chisora, and Joseph Parker, who was a former WBO heavyweight champion. I believe he's ranked number 5 or 6 now. 6? So yeah, there you have it. And now he's going to fight Alexander Povetkin, who's ranked number 3 in the Ring magazine. Yeah. And Povetkin is he's a previous Olympic champion. He's only been stopped once, and that's against Vladimir Klitschko. And he's not actually been stopped. That was a unanimous. So he's never been stopped. So when people come up and say that, you can't say, firstly, yeah, Wilder hasn't really fought anyone. He has a decent record. Nothing too spectacular, but neither is Tyson Fury, has he? And for those people that try and argue that they have a better that whoever wins this fight is going to be recognized as the best heavyweight champion. Well, you guys haven't really fought anyone, have you, to be recognized as the best heavyweight champion? You haven't really fought anyone. So for you to be recognized as the universally heavyweight champion, you do need to fight Anthony Joshua. You do need to. And anyone who says otherwise is a fool. Anyone who says otherwise is deluded and have really lost touch with reality. But anyways, there you have it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think Tyson Fury has a better record than Deontay Wilder? Do you think Wilder has a better record than Fury? Who do you think has scored a better record between all of them? Let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video. Samson Boxing, I'm out.